Hello, my stamping friends. This is Jenny, and I just felt so bad that I had not given you any fall inspiration cards or videos, so I decided I would pop on today and just make two pretty simple fall cards with you. Now, I realize there's a ball game going on, and you might be watching the ball game, but that's okay. You can watch the replay later. So let's get started. The cards that Sandra made were so pretty, and I appreciated her sharing those with you guys. I hope you got to enjoy making some of them. So we're going to start today with a piece of basic white, and I've die cut it with the deckled labels. I have used these so much, it's just, I'm surprised they're not worn out. If you like that torn edge look, these are some dies that you'll want to keep. I like that torn edge look, but I was never very good at tearing the paper by myself. So this way, it's done for you. So let me see what I see. There's a little bit going on here. Let's see if I can make it work a little better on the screen. There we go. So I'm going to start with a basic white, and I am using this stamp set called Soft Seedlings. And the reason I love this stamp set is it makes beautiful cards with very little effort. So that's right up my alley. And it's got nice sentiments too. Thinking of you, grateful for you, and hello. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use, of course, some fall colors. We're going to ink it up with Daffodil Delight. And you probably wonder about my stamp. I used some StazOn on it, and that's not always a very good idea. But it's what it is. So then we're going to take, I need to kind of organize my stamps, some crushed curry, my ink pads, I guess, because we're going to do a little bit of, we're going to use daubers. And so I'm going to take some crushed curry and get some ink on it, and we're just going to, you know, brush it around in some other places. You really can't see it on there, but it's there. Now I don't want to mix up my daubers, so I nesting them in my ink pad. And now I have pumpkin pie. I'll fix that a little bit. We'll ink it up, and we'll add some pumpkin pie on here. Now each time these are going to come out different because you're just kind of guessing where to put that ink. Of course, you could use different colors. You could use Cajun Craze, Old Olive, I don't know. And if we don't like the way it looks, then we'll try something else. So now I'm going to stamp that one on here. And look how it comes out so pretty with all those colors. Now we need more than one, so we have to clean it off. And then we'll do the daubers again. I think I'll start with the crushed curry. I mean, not crushed curry. Pumpkin pie this time. Doesn't matter which ones you do. And then we'll add a little crushed curry. And we'll stamp this one over this way. Aren't those beautiful? They're so pretty. We went for a walk yesterday, and there were some leaves that were just exactly this color. They were just beautiful, but they weren't on, they were on the ground. I couldn't figure out where they came from. I guess it's just a few leaves falling at a time because they haven't all changed colors just yet. But they're going to be real pretty when they all change colors, won't they? It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite time of the year. Now we'll put another one up here. I think we'll just take our chances and do a little bit right there. Yeah. So now we've got our nice, pretty, subtle fall leaves. I don't know if you can see the veins in there. They're just so pretty. So let's close this up. See how quick this is? It's one reason I like it so much. Now we're going to do, it's kind of plain. And I want it to look a little, maybe tiny rustic. So we're going to do some splatters with early espresso, I think. No, we're going to use soft suede. So I've squeezed some a re-inker in there, but that's way too much. You don't want it that thick. So we're going to put a little water with our watercolor brush. I think we'll add a little more drops of water. You could do this also just with a little paintbrush from the dollar store or wherever you pick up some little crafty brushes. Now, I don't like to get ink all over on my workspace or the wall or anywhere else. So I'm going to take a paper pumpkin box. A shoebox with a lid works, but you kind of want that lid to catch your splatters here. So we'll put our little piece of paper in there. Can't think of what I was going to say. We're going to get our ink on our brush. Let's see if I can, we've kind of filled up our brush. And then I'm just going to take a pencil, another brush, going to do some tapping, and it's going to just add some splatters on our card. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a little more with, if you take the lid of your paintbrush, you can also, your water brush, you can also flick. This just makes it look like, it gives it a little dimension. Isn't that pretty? So now I can close this up. This will always be used for dark ink. You can wash it off later though. Now we're going to let that dry for a little bit. While we're letting it dry, we'll work on the rest of our card. With the hopes I've got everything here, I need a white card base. I thought I had it out here, and I probably do, I just can't see it. So I ran a piece of soft suede through the timber embossing folder. It just gives it a wood look. And we're going to put that on the front of our card base. And we're going to layer this, I think it's fairly dry, on a piece of pale papaya. I just thought it needed a little extra color layering there. I think we've had some other leaf stamps that this same design and pattern would work, the same layout. If you guys go through your stash, you might own them. Now there's our card. And we need a sentiment. So I pulled Thinking of You. And we'll put that on a piece of basic white. Here's our piece of scrap. And we're going to use the pumpkin pie. You could use you could even use the darker color, but I think this is going to look okay with pumpkin. And we'll die cut it with this label. Run that through the cut and emboss machine. On there good. Hope I have that fairly straight. We'll see. I think that looks good. Now that's kind of blah. I have fallen in love with this die. It's from the Fond of Autumn bundle. And so I went ahead and die cut a piece of the distressed gold. Do you see how that's different from just gold foil? It's like gold leaf and crumb cake mixed together. I guess, I'm not so sure. And so we're going to put that on there and put our sentiment, and it just gives it a little more pop. So we can put this on with Tombow. I have been using this die all morning on several cards. I'll put it just a tiny bit of an angle. There we go. We'll put this on with dimensionals. Here's the dimensionals. No, I can get these out and lose them before I've even used them. That doesn't want to come off. There we go. Sometimes the backing sticks. Thinking of You is always a card to have on hand. Now I pulled these brushed metallic dots is what they're called. And I like this little greenish because it kind of picks up that brushed distressed gold look. So there's a few left on here. We'll use those. And let's see, we'll use a combination of large and small. So we use a large one. I'll try to use up these smaller ones. I like to have the variety of different sizes. And let's see, we'll put that one there. And now our card is finished. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? So we'll put all these things to the side. And start on our second card. And I did this one as thinking of you. I did about 4 or 5 yesterday with autumn wishes, so they could be a Thanksgiving kind of card. See how each time you do it, they're a little different. Just depends on what colors you choose to use on your leaf. So this one was called Soft Seedlings, the stamp set. So the next one's similar in that it's a fall card. A little different though, a lot of stamping, so I like that. This is from Hello Harvest. I know a couple of you have bought this one. We're just going to use this leaf, and it's like a distressed oak. Is that an oak leaf? I'm not positive, so we'll see. Let me make sure it's clean. Here's my, just in case. And we're going to do 3 different colors of leaves. We're going to do daffodil, pumpkin, and pear pizzazz. So I'm going to start with daffodil because I won't have to clean between it and the pumpkin. If you're using similar color families, it's okay to not necessarily clean your stamp. Somebody else might not agree with that, but I think it's okay. And we're just going to randomly kind of make our own designer series paper. And then we'll use pumpkin pie. That little bit of daffodil won't hurt our pumpkin pie. Again, I cut this with the deckled edges. Now I am going to have to clean before we go to pear pizzazz because we don't want orange mixed up on our ink. And we're just using pear pizzazz because not all the leaves have changed yet. So we have to have some of each. I think I'll put a little tip right there. Our sentiment's going to go here, so that'll be okay. And now we're ready to kind of put our card together. Now I used Very Vanilla this time, and then this is crushed curry. And we're just gonna, very, very simple layout here. And that's kind of, I like simple. I was going to work on an accordion fold card and a flip fold card, and then I just go back to simple. And I like making my own DSP. That's kind of Now we could have put splatters on here too, but I didn't do that this time, so that's okay. Now you might not have noticed these in the catalog. They're leaf labels and amber gems, and I think they're intended to be like if you were giving somebody some banana bread or something like that for the fall. But we're going to use it on our card. Now it's going to have this little hole here, but we'll put a jewel on it and it'll be okay. So I'm going to stamp that. That's why I had early espresso out. We're going to use that, and we're going to use the sentiment just for you. And we'll put it kind of at an angle. Oh, that didn't stamp very well. I'm glad we got the other side. Maybe there wasn't much ink right where I was. Okay. Now I want to put some twine on here. So we'll go ahead and do that before we stick it to our card. And so we're just gonna, I want it to have a nice tail. So I'm going to give it a little snip there. This is a little bit fussy, but not too bad. There we go. Now it'll be easier to tie our bow. And we'll kind of, I'm going to leave my tails long. And remember this die that I have fallen in love with. We're going to cut a banner from pumpkin pie. We'll run that through the cut and emboss machine real quick. It'll just make our sentiment stand out a little better. And we'll put that on here. Same kind of layout. Our dimensionals will hold any down that's doesn't have a bunch of glue on it. And we'll put our pretty little leaf on there. This is a maple leaf. I do know that. I think. I have seen where somebody took these and made a really cute banner with all the leaves and the sparkles, so I might try that. Hang on your mantle or hang somewhere in your craft room. Now there's our, now we've got these beautiful amber colored gems, and so we're just going to put one on top of that hole. And then we'll put a couple more, put one of the larger ones on here. You try to get it in a triangle. And there's our card. Now, if we want to put a leaf on the inside, we can do that also. Two quick fall cards. One with Soft Seedlings and the other one Hello Harvest. But both with those fall colors, pumpkin, curry, daffodil, a little bit of gold, a little bit of amber, a little bit of metallic. So all those items that you probably have in your stash that you can use to create that fall vibe that you like. So I know you didn't know I was going to come on live today. And that's fine. You can watch the replay and leave me a message when you do, because I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.